Of the mimer of the Alter Rebbe concerning Ani לדודי ודודי לי, and we said that we meet the king specifically in the field, not in the city and not in the midbar. We said that there are three things. There's the city, that's the place of Torah mitzvahs, that's called Ir Elokeinu, that's where Hashem is found. The Sada, the field, is a place where Mimena Toitzi Lechem, from that you bring forth bread. In other words, it's a preparation for things of the city that indicates all types of activities that we do that are like a preparation for Torah mitzvahs, like Kol Masechel Hashem Shemayim, all the matters that are permitted matters in Yonei Rishus, work, eating, sleeping, and so on. And then there's the level of the midbar, the wilderness. The wilderness is not a place where the king is found. The king only goes out into the field, and that's where he greets us, because the wilderness is a place, Asher Lo Yoshav Adam Sham. It's a place where the man does not settle over there. In other words, it's a place that's the opposite of Torah mitzvahs. And that's the difference between those three things, the idea of the Sada, the ear, and the midbar. Now he's going to go on to explain that specifically, the Alter Rebbe says over there, in Likutei Torah, in that Maimer Ani לדודי, that in the midbar, we need to search out and find, and even more so, the Rebbe is going to say, we need to transform the midbar to the positive. Again, second page, last paragraph on the page. And he continues over there in Likutei Torah. Concerning the level of the wilderness, it says, the Alter Rebbe Likutei Torah says that when a person finds himself in a state of midbar, in a state of wilderness, so then you have to search out from there, that place, the place of Sham. The Alter Rebbe in the Maimer explains Sham, shows on the expression Sham is the opposite of godliness. Godliness is the level of Zeh, this, Zeh Keli Vanveu. Sham is there, far away, it's beyond the pale. So from there you need to search out Hashem, your God, and then you'll find it. So why is it there you search out for Hashem? Seemingly, you should be looking for Hashem in the ear, in the city, or at least in the Sada. How are you searching out from there? The Torah mitzvahs, the level of the city, we mentioned before, that's the avodah of Torah mitzvahs. That's called Ir Elokeinu, that's the ear of Hashem, that's the city of Hashem. You don't have to search for him. There's no need to search for God over there because he's revealed. Because the matters of Torah mitzvahs are assisting the person in his avodah. So the fact that he's doing Torah mitzvahs helps him and brings him to experience and to feel Hashem's closeness and so on. So to the level of the field, which is hachana vehechshar mitzvahs, even though it's not mitzvahs itself, it's only the preparation and the readying of things for mitzvahs. Also, this assists him in his avodah, so there's no need to search for Hashem because he's available. As opposed to a person that finds himself in the wilderness, in the desert. Over there has to be the searching. You should search out from there. Because in the wilderness, the matters, the things are concealed. In other words, godliness is concealed over there. When something's concealed, that's where you have to search. If something's open or revealed, there's no need for a search. So therefore, what's the advantage of that? So he says, but on the other hand, only through the descent in the wilderness, through that you will find. Like it says in the expression that when you search from there, and you will find. Specifically from there, and you will find. Perhaps the Rebbe is using the word metzia, as sometimes he uses it, as something exceptional, something extraordinary. It's a find. Through the descent of very much below. First of all, the inner aspect of a Yid becomes revealed. That really, like we mentioned in the previous part of the Maimer, that really every single Yid is the level of Sar Kale, that the Kale, the Chelik al-Ka that's in him is the ministering over him. And it's Yashar Kale, and it's directly the level of Kale. All of these things related to Kale Havaya Vayar Lonu, the level of the illumination that's connected with the Yud Gimel Midas Harachmim. And not only that, but even when a person, Chas v'Sholem, is not doing what he's supposed to do, refusing to do what he's supposed to do, we say that truly we can coerce him to say that he's going to do it, the right thing, because every single Yid in their Pnimius wants to do what is right, except they have to express it. So through the searching out and finding, he reveals and he finds the inner part of a Yid. Not only does he reveal and find the inner part of the Yid, v'gam pnimius in hamidbar, he also finds and reveals the inner aspect of the wilderness. Based on what we said, that midbar, it says, Asher lo yoshav Adam sham, that Adam ha'elyon, the supernal man, Hashem that sits on the throne, is not found over there. There is the way how we explained up till now that is the revelation of that's the level of Adam ha'elyon is not found in a place of opposite of Torah mitzvahs, but there's a different way of looking at Shelo Yoshev Adam Sham. Like it's explained in the Torah, Parshas Chumash Bamidbar, Parshas Bamidbar at the beginning. The Inyan Hamidbar Lamal Yusam, the positive idea of a wilderness, whose spheres HaKeser Shalamaylam Seder Ishtalshlus. That's a level of Keser that's higher than Seder Ishtalshlus. Seder Ishtalshlus, the spheres, the koiches, those have to do with the level of Adam. Just like an Adam down here has Eser koiches and Nefesh, so to an Atzilus, there is the 10 spheres. What's a level? Asher lo yoshav Adam sham, a level that even Adam doesn't reach over there, that Adam is not settled over there, not because it's so low, because it's clippers, but just the opposite. It's too high for Adam to reach over there. It's the level of Keser. So the Rebbe is saying, so by having by searching out over there, from the midbar, you're searching out and finding Hashem. So then, so the actual negative midbar, we come to the positive midbar, the positive wilderness. And the Rebbe is going to bring a few examples of this idea where the negative itself brings to the positive. So first of all, he brings down what the Rambam says, that the ultimate level of tshuva, when a person falls through in an Aveda, is when the very same situation and conditions that were present at the time that he initially did the Aveda occurred again, and he held himself back. So then, that's a perfect tshuva. Let's see it inside, 3 lines in the bottom of the page. Similar to what's explained in a different place. Concerning tshuva, it has to be with the very same woman that he committed the Aveda beforehand. In the same period of time. And in the same place. In other words, all the events come together that he should experience the same thing he was able to before. And still in all, he didn't do so. Through all these conditions repeating himself, then the tshuva is the ultimate state, the ultimate tshuva. This means that the actual negative is bringing him to a higher state of tshuva. That's the idea that is an example of the midbar ligreus, or the negative wilderness is bringing him to the midbar lamalius. Another example of where we see the negative midbar bringing to the positive midbar. Betanya, like it's explained in Tanya. Hine, at top of the next page, last page, Hashuva ma'avarabim, ba aidei his bonus ma'amodim atzavei hara. How does a person come to a tshuva out of a great love, such a type of tshuva that transforms the intentional sins to mitzvahs, such a type of tshuva that's not even possible for a tzaddik? Because the Baal Tshuva has what to contemplate about his bad state, through contemplating the fact that he's found in a thirsty and parched land. Through that he comes to a great love and a thirsting soul. But a tzaddik who's never been that far away from godliness, he's never been be'eretz yiva'oyev, he's never been in a state of bad, so his yearning for Hashem and his love for Hashem, as powerful as it may be, is not the powerful love of the Baal Tshuva. So therefore, the Baal Tshuva can reach such a great love only because of the negative. So the negative, the midbar legreis, so the negative wilderness, is bringing him to a higher form of love, a higher form of revelation, a state of makash Baal Tshuva in the main tzaddikim gvurnim lamed. That's the famous reason that Alter Rebbe explains in Tanya. How could it be that this doinos, the intentional sin, should turn into merits? Because the actual negative itself, the actual darkness itself, the actual bad itself is pushing him to a type of tshuva that he would be unable to reach. Otherwise, the tzaddik is incapable of reaching that. So here's another example of the midbar ligreis that is leading to the midbar lamaliyus. Now he's going to bring a third example of this. Third line from the top of the third page. Also similar to what's explained in many Musar Sfarim. A person needs to take a lesson of his devotion to Hashem. He needs to learn from the Yetzer Hara's own devotion to Hashem. What's the Yetzer Hara's devotion to Hashem? The Yetzer Hara on its own is really a good malach, a good angel. He completely gives up who he is and the fact that he wants to do Hashem's will to fulfill his mission that he was given by Hashem, to convince the person to do an Aveda, even though this is damaging to the Yetzer Hara itself. The Yetzer Hara itself is pained and suffers from this. Like the mashal that Alter Rebbe refers to in Tanya, of the immodest woman and the prince that's brought down the Zoyar, that the king hires her to convince the son to do an Aveda. Shekol kavanasa hilanas, as Ben HaMelech, her whole intention is to challenge and test the prince, ulegalish maloseichul, to reveal his quality and his greatness and so on. So the same thing, what do we see over here? The Yetzer Hara, which is midbar ligreyusa, is really fulfilling a mission of Hashem with great self-sacrifice. That is the midbar lamalyusa. So that's examples of where we find where a yid can do this as well. Ubikashta misham umatzasa, that you're searching out in the midbar, you not just reveal the Jew's inner essence, but also you transform the negative of the wilderness to a positive wilderness to the level of Kesser. Second paragraph on the last page. Like it continues over there on Kutei, after you search out over there and you found Hashem, now you need to make sure to enclose it in vessels. We find often that we get inspired and we get excited. And then Elul, we learn all the Mamarim about Ani Lidodi and the king in the field. But we need to anchor it. We need to make sure that this feeling is somehow rooted. So how is it rooted? What are these vessels? So first of all, he brings a pasuk that we need to root it. I found what my soul loved. And after it says, after I found what my soul loved, it says in Shir Hashirim, then that's not enough. You found it. Now what are you going to do? I hold on to him. I will not let loose. Till I'll bring him to my mother's house and to the room of my parents. Beis imi, the mother's house that's going on the written Torah, because the written Torah is like a mother to the oral Torah. Hairasi is also from the word Haira, lesson, teaching, halacha. We derive the final thing from Zutar Shlapeh, that's the oral Torah. So that's what it means. Bring it to my mother's house and to my parents' room. The vessels that hold down this love, that is Torah study. Torah study is something that could be a vessel and to anchor this greater type of love which the person attains through and with the midbar al-mal-yusuf. Another anchor, the gamai de maisa tzedakah v'chesed, also through the actions of tzedakah and chesed, shehu kli ala ava, shu'ava nafshi. Chesed and tzedakah is a vessel to love. Like we say in the beginning, that he found what his soul loved, so he needs to have tzedakah and chesed to become the vessel for it. The reason for that is because love and kindness are two sides of the same coin. Love is the emotion, chesed is the kindness. So you have the kindness, that's the action, and love is the emotion that feeds it. So even though love is for Hashem, and the kindness is a tzedakah that he's doing to another person, but it's inseparable. And therefore, if I want to have the oir of the love remain, I need to do the external keli of tzedakah and kindness. Now the Rebbe says that we find that these two things, Torah and tzedakah, go together in a different place. These two things, these two vessels that hold down this great love, is the two aspects of Torah and tzedakah that we find in the pasuk, the last pasuk of the Haftorah before Tisha B'Av of Shabbos Chazon. It says, "Tzion you will redeem with mishpat." Mishpat going on the laws, meaning Torah, and the returnees or the captives will come back with tzedakah. Tzedakah is tzedakah. So we see that that through having these two vessels for my love of Hashem, Torah and tzedakah, through that it comes about the level of the geula, beginning from one's own personal geula, that they're redeemed from whatever they have to be redeemed from. So now, interestingly, the Rebbe has been moving back to Av, so he's going to explain that the different locations that we spoke about before have to do with the different months. But this will be understood, the avoid of the month of Av and El and Tishrei. The Chodesh Av Av is similar to the avoid that we do in the wilderness. We are doing the tshuva from the descent that's in the month of Av. That only through such a great descent do we reach to the higher level of midbar, to the positive midbar, to the positive wilderness. Afterwards, in the month of El, the avodah is in the level of the field, which the field, just like it's a preparation for the city, so too the Elul is a field being preparation for the month of Tishrei. The preparation is in two matters. Tzedakah is from the right, and Torah, which is, we know Torah is entirely one with Hashem. Through this preparation, we come to the union that takes place between Hashem and the Yid in the Yom Tov Sukkos, that we said that's the final part of Lidoi Li. That is right will embrace me. How do we get to the right from the month of Tishrei? We need to do the right on our side now in the month of El, which is Tzedakah and also Torah. Ani Ladoidi is also the final letters are 4 letters Yud. Begematria Mem, the numerical equivalent of 40. Keneged Mem Yom Shem Rosh Chodesh El Vad Yom Kippurim, corresponding to the 40 days from Rosh Chodesh El to Yom Kippur. On Mevur Babach, in the commentary in the Tur the Bayas Chodesh, it's explained Ki Be'elum Mem Yom Matshuva Mekubels Li'Yisli B'Kader El Doidi B'Tshuva, that in these 40 days Tshuva is accepted to be his heart close to his beloved with Tshuva. And then his beloved is close to receive the tshuva out of love. And love is a core aspect of our service. The idea of love is the primary service of the heart. So therefore, it's our primary service is to be encapsulated in these 40 days. And this love comes down in Torah. Where do we see the association? Because the 40 days has to do with the giving of the last luchas. In these 40 days was given the final luchas. As we know, Moshe Rabbeinu came down from Har Sinai with the new luchas, with the second luchas on Yom Kippur. So that was a period of 40 days leading up to that. The Chazal say, and Rashi brings this down, just like the first ones that Moshe Rabbeinu came down with in the first 40 days was in a happy way, in a way that Hashem was willing and so on. So to the final 40 days of Rosh Chodesh El Yom Kippur, Hashem was willing. Hashem told him, I have forgiven as you have spoken. Like Rashi wrote, days, and through that, we come to the ultimate revelation of the month of Tishrei, which is the level of city. So you have Av is Midbar, Sada is Elul, and Ir, the city, is Tishrei. This is what it says in our parsha this week. She shall cry for her father and mother, the Jewish captive, the captive woman that's taken in war. She should cry for her father and mother. Yerech Yom, a month of days. It's talking about the neshama that's in captivity in the soul and in the nefesh habamis, in the body down here in this world. The Koyal Chodesh El, the month of days that you have to cry, is going on the month of El Kedisah, the Torah La Arizal, it's brought down from the Arizal. The Bechia Zui Bechia Shel Simcha. This crying is not a crying of suffering and pain, but it's a crying of joy. Al derech hamavur b'zoyer, similar to what's explained in the Zohar. Rabbi Akiva's old way of the Mois Kishin is Gal lo yirozeh Torah sheb'shir hashirim. That Rabbi Akiva, his eyes were flowing tears when it was revealed to him the secrets of the Torah of Shir Hashirim. The Chol Hashirim Kodesh v'Shir Hashirim Kodesh Kodashim. All the songs of the Torah are holy, but the Song of Songs is Holy of Holies, which indicates it's the highest, most level. The topic of Shir Hashirim is the same topic, like I'm to my beloved, and my beloved is to me, which is Pasuk in Shir Hashirim, the love of Hashem and the Yidden, Inyan Anesuim, the idea of marriage, until they become as one flesh, without any types of concealments. Like it says, that the glory of Hashem will become revealed, and all flesh will see together Hashem. That will be in the future through our avodah now. Like it says, those that sow in tears will harvest with song. That's like it's brought down the Gemara Tainis. The idea through sowing with tears of joy. We come speak soon to mamish joy, that we will the harvest with song, Shalasad Lavi, Hazarei Yivkish B'kaitza, miraculously, when Mashiach comes, the one that's sowing will meet the one that's harvesting, because it'll be so quick between the sowing and the harvesting. When the golden miyad, they will be immediately redeemed, Begula Mitzvah Shlema, the Mashiach Tzidkenu, and the true and complete redemption through Mashiach.